First video I made about 2K21, I said it looks like strength may be a huge factor, and I may have to recant that statement because after playing with this build with minimum weight and the lowest strength, it doesn't seem like strength is even an ounce of a factor in 2K21. Hey, what's up YouTube? You already know it's AllCity Live TV, and thank you for tuning in. There's a ton of great players on 2K21, but there's also a ton of players that created their player wrong, and I don't want you guys to make that mistake out there. If you're making a center type of build, I've made quite a few center builds, and it's like, what do you focus on? Do you focus on speed? Do you focus on strength? Do you focus on vertical? And that's what I want to hash out for you guys, because the few players that I've made have all been fun and great to play with, but there is a hella difference between one player in particular to the other, and that's what I want to help you guys out with. Because if you're out there and listen, people got different standards, and I take that into consideration, that people got different standards, so you may want something different from what I actually want. But my goal in 2K21 is to get a good amount of wins, focus on the W, and how can I provide my teammates the best player out there, how can I be the best teammate out there? So that's what I want to help you guys with, being the best teammate. Now we know the reason why this is so important is because we know how difficult shooting is in 2K21, and if you don't create the right player, you're gonna make it even more difficult for your shooters out there. So I made a few centers. The first center that I made, I focused on strength and vertical, and I thought it was amazing. The first day out, I had an absolute fun time. I said, man, this is it. But as 2K evolved the very next day and the day after, my players seemed to be less and less effective. So I said, I'm not gonna go through the same 2K20 experience. If you was with us on our live stream, or shout out to the homies that I run with, like Travion and Rain. If you know, you guys know that I didn't wanna be a liability out there. And I wanna prevent you guys from becoming a liability out there, more so helping your teammates be better. And what can you do to help your teammates be better? Now I focused on strength and vertical. I've also focused on speed and vertical, and I've also focused on speed alone, and which one was better. And I'm gonna rewind this. You guys saw the clips in the background. We're gonna rewind this and go through it so you can understand what I'm talking about. Because shooting is so difficult, this is why I believe that speed is gonna kill in 2K21. Currently, at least, I was thinking that I was gonna be way more dominant than any other center out there. We're gonna let this play off. If you just focus on strength and vertical, you are becoming a liability as far as speed is concerned and rolling off of screens to work that pick and roll. So this is one of the main things that we notice. We're trying to get our players to shoot out there, and we wanna be a nuisance as well and get that pick and roll option working effectively. Unfortunately, when you focus on strength and vertical, your pick and roll option becomes a lot slower, which makes it more difficult for the options that your point guard has. So hear me out here, guys, because if your point guard has less options, it's so difficult to shoot in 2K21, and you're a point guard out there that is not shooting too well, you're gonna limit your options by running with a center that's too slow out there. So this is one thing that I want to kind of base focus on, is that speed kills. As you guys can see, I maneuvered past him, got the worm animation, got the rebound, and also dunked the ball. So you got my player, I made a 6'8". I know you guys are more concerned with, well, what type of player is it, and does he catch contact dunks, and I made a 6'8" glass cleaning finisher. Shout out to the homie Late Night, because he's been goated on 2K21, and he was telling me from the beginning that speed is going to kill, and I didn't necessarily believe them. Shout out to the homie God Mills. God Mills told me you should run with strength and vertical, and when I created the player, it was absolutely amazing until you see what a player that focuses on speed can do out there. They can get the same level of contest. And you guys out in the YouTube world might be thinking, well, you know, that's the park. The park is something totally different. I took the player to wreck. My 6'8". Now, another thing that I want to kind of get get across to you guys is that I made this player as light as possible. Now there's guards, I went minimum weight. He's 6'8", minimum weight, maximum wingspan. Now that may sound absolutely insane. Believe me guys, I was hella reluctant to even consider doing something like that. But I took a chance and I did it, and I am so grateful that I took that chance, because had I not, we would have still been struggling. Since I created this player yesterday, we have gotten nothing but W's out there, just consistently streaking out there. So that's the difference, is that I focused on speed. I chose the speed pie chart, and it made all the difference in the world. I'm able to get in the passing lanes. I'm able to bring the ball down court, hop step, get crazy dunks like that. So this is what you guys got to consider. How much of a good teammate do you want to be for your point guard out there? Because it's so difficult for point guards to shoot. And if you limit their options, look at the contest on this player. He is minimum weight, and I am not getting bullied. Trust and believe, I am not getting bullied out there. And not to mention, my player barely has any badges. So if he's doing this with barely any badges, imagine when he gets his 20 plus badges, 20 plus defensive badges up, not to mention the 20 plus finishing badges up. If you guys want me to make a player build video on this particular player, I will be glad to do so. Please let me know in the comment section below. But the reason why I'm making this video is because it was such a dramatic difference when I made this build versus my other. I had an interior finisher and a paint piece, and those builds are amazing. I know they're very popular in 2K21, but when I made this glass cleaning finisher, it made all the difference in the world. I focused on speed, and speed is what seems to kill in 2K21. I hope you guys could take my advice and at least make an attempt to go with speed, make a build. I don't know, the first video I made about 2K21, I said it looks like strength may be a huge factor, and I may have to recant that statement, because after playing with this build with minimum weight and the lowest strength, it doesn't seem like strength is even an ounce of a factor in 2K21. I took this build to the rec center, got player of the game, player of the half, also went 23 points with 23 rebounds. Now those are numbers that I wouldn't have been able to put up with my other players, so take that into consideration. This player is tried and true. We played against tough competition, and I focused only on speed. I chose the speed pie chart. I don't think you can go wrong with the speed and vertical pie chart, but I wanted to test this out because one of my other homies that's goated as well, Late Night, he chose the speed and vertical pie chart, and he's a goated player. That's not to say that you don't need, but what I'm trying to say is that I went all speed and I see no difference in my vertical. So y'all take that with a grain of salt, or however you want to take it. If you want to find it important, all I'm asking is that you guys attempt to create your player, your center build, whoever he is, minimum weight and long wingspan, and focus on the speed pie chart, and I promise you, you will not regret it, and your teammates will thank you for it. Attempt it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys found this video helpful and or informative, please consider subscribing to our channel, as we're gonna have a ton of 2K21 content coming your way. I'll catch you guys on the next video.